An in-depth analysis of how MiG-29 could fire American-made AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missile.
The HARM has been a talking point for mainstream media and defense enthusiasts, especially for non-NATO fighter jets such as Ukrainian MiG-29 firing American-made HARM missiles.
The acronym HARM stands for High-Speed Anti-Radiation Missile, also known as the AGM-88 HARM air-to-surface missile.
The primary purpose of this missile is destruction of enemy air defense and to perform SAAD missions. In short, HARM is a radar hunting missile. The AGM-88 HARM is 14 meters long but only 25.4 centimeters in diameter. It weighs around 360 kilograms and carries a fragmentation-type warhead optimized for radar targets.
The crown jewel of HARM is its anti-radar homing seeker, broadband radio frequency antenna, receiver, and solid-state digital processor.
The missile has a range of more than 150 kilometers. It is a tactical weapon fired from fighter aircraft that can detect and home to radiation emitted by hostile radar stations with surface-to-air detection capabilities.
HARM Command Launch Computer, CLC. On a NATO-compatible fighter jet, the CP-1001 HARM Command Launch Computer, CLC, is an electronic subsystem installed on the airframe of the aircraft to interface HARM missiles. The CLC receives target data from the missile and onboard avionics, processes the data for display to the aircrew to the display, determines target priority, and collects aircraft data for pre-launch handoff to the AGM-88 HARM missile. The CLC generates targeting commands to the AGM-88 HARM missile for appropriate target and provides targeting and guidance information for the AGM-88 to target of interest, TOI, on offensive attack missions. Ukrainian MiG-29.
The MiG-29 in question firing AGM-88 HARM is the modified MiG-29 supplied by Poland, not the Soviet-origin Ukrainian MiG-29, because the MiG-29, even the latest MiG-29M2 or MiG-29K, does not have the anti-radiation capability due to the limitation of pulse Doppler radar and avionics. Polish MiG-29 was modified and upgraded with NATO standard pylons and CLC before handing over to Ukrainian Air Force. Still, Polish MiG-29 has identical avionics, analog cockpit and old Zuk pulse Doppler radar. If you look closely at the cockpit of Polish-supplied MiG-29, you will see an additional color digital computer interface mounted in front of the pilot. This is Command Launch Computer, CLC, providing the target data to the HARM missile.
The target data is not coming from MiG-29's avionics or radar.
Another important factor and declassified information so that I can break the news to you is that Ukrainian pilots and ground crew were trained in Poland on how to use NATO standard CLC. Hence, Ukrainian Air Force is cleverly using the programmable pre-launch mechanism of CLC and HARM, allowing Ukrainian Air Force to target Russian radar stations. Once HARM is released from the pylons, its onboard seeker could locate a pre-programmed electronic pulse-emitting target in its memory, so it can continue prosecuting the target even if the enemy shuts the radar down intermittently and finally destroy the adversary radar stations. Whether this is S-400, Buk or S-300 surface-to-air missiles fire control radar, with HARM bearing down on its target at a speed of over Mach 2, the enemy radar operator has little time to react.
Now you know how Polish-supplied MiG-29 could launch AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missile. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Instagram.